let's move more into the topic of, your music. What bands are you currently involved in? Oh gosh.
That was wild. I'm in a band called Red Studios. It's called that because when we were trying to do rehearsals, that was when red zones happened in Macau. And both of our studios were at risk of red. And then there's Wang, Champagne Yellow,
yeah,
FF99. I do that
follow your page, I think.
I think those are the two bands that I'm really in. But I wouldn't really call them like a full-time thing. It's more like whenever we all have time, we kind of just play around. We're releasing a song, Champagne Yellow, this year. I play some nice bass, I think. Check it out.
Go check out Champagne Yellow's newest song, which I will play.
Yes, when it's out.
Yeah, when it's out. Okay. Personally, what genres of music do you listen to most?
I like almost everything, except I'm not too into rap. So heavy metal, rock, 80s British pop, some of my favorites.
That's really specific. 80s British pop.
But I would say my favorites would be funk, 80s, maybe 70s disco, jazz fusion. Those would probably be my 4 choices.
I actually quite like rap.
I think it's just the only one that doesn't click with me.
Yeah.
I'm not I don't hate it, and I don't dislike it. I would play it.
Right.
I would enjoy it, but it's something I wouldn't really listen to.
Right. Kind of a loaded question, but how did you fall in love with music?
I've always been really into it as a kid. From listening to CDs in the car and having my MP3 player with me when I was traveling Cambodia when I was 5 years old. I still remember that. I think it was always a small part of my life, but it didn't really speak to me as a career or what I do for a living. Until maybe from 4, but I think especially our school music program that helped me really enjoy what I was doing. Then just a lot of just discovering stuff on my own, watching different movies, listening to different, and then I find music in those movies, and then those music take me to other songs, this, and I find that, and you just learn a lot of different things.
I always thought you were going to get into the arts because you have such a big personality.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be a writer.
Right.
For books, and then became a movie director. That's music.
How do you feel about the stereotype that musicians and artists generally make very little money and live unstable lives?
I haven't lived on my own yet. I don't have to pay bills and rent and that kind of thing. I don't own my own car. I don't have to travel around, so I wouldn't really know. I can't really put my experience to it.
Did your parents or relatives or anyone react differently when you told them you were going to seriously pursue music?
I think everyone just kind of knew from the start.
That
it wasn't a shock or anything.
Right.
For sure, it's a very different career than most. And sometimes I can definitely tell that they're worried about it.
Right.
But I don't think they've really reacted that hard to most. I think everyone's kind of expected.
Okay, true. What about people that don't know you? Do they react any differently?
Not really. I do remember once. I was working for the equipment, the music equipment moving thing, and I was in one of those blue trucks, those blue trucks in Macau. And I was sitting in front.
Oh,
yeah.
410.
Yeah, 410.
Yeah.
And then the guy in the truck, I told him I was gonna do music. He was like, "What? Why? Just drive a truck." You just get a license and you can just drive a truck. Easy money, man. People pay you a lot. I'm like, okay, think about it.
Right. So, on the topic of music, how is Macau's music scene?
Very difficult. There's not much platform for you to do it. I think I got really lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. There's two guys for my band, Champagne Yellow. So the bassist was going to the school that I wanted to go to. His name is Jeff. He's a great musician. He was going, so they needed a new bassist. And I was there as well at the show. And they saw me, and they just went up to me and asked me to try to play for the band. Because I started meeting all sorts of people around the community, and then speak to them, get to know them, really start to develop myself and what I do. And I think a lot of musicians, like young musicians here, don't get that opportunity. I actually know quite a few people who are really good, but they haven't really had that chance to play because there's not many places to do it, and there's not really an audience for it. It's a very, I don't want to say dead, but it's a very, it's just not the right environment for musicians.
It's not ambitious, it doesn't push you.
Yeah. There's not too much competition, and there's not much to really make you want to play. The biggest thing here is like a music festival that we have in Macau. Really, that's about it. There's not much opportunity for people to play.
Right. What's your advice for young musicians, like you mentioned, who
I'm
want
so
to
young,
get their
right?
foot in? Even younger musicians.
Get out there. That's about it, right? Just get your name out there. I think if you're good, people will know that. And some people might doubt it, but you know what? Do it, whatever.
Just do it.
What's the worst that could happen in Macau, right?
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen? Has music helped you grow as a person or shaped your identity in any way?
Oh yeah. I think a lot of my personality revolves around that. I think without it, I'd be a very different being. Definitely. Yeah. I'm not really known for much else, to be honest. That's like my whole thing.
Is that, you think, a good thing? Or
I think it's a good thing, yeah, because I love it.
That's really crucial for kids who are really trying to find themselves. I think it's good to have something you're really good at and then be able to latch onto that, because that does give you purpose and a sense of self. For me, speech has kind of done the same thing, and then for you, it's music. So do you think you will end up developing overseas in the future?
Oh, for sure. I think that's like the whole point of going overseas. Is to just develop your craft and learn everything that you can from there, because there's not much to learn here. There's a lot to learn here, but the things you can learn from outside can help you can push you to the next level. And that's really why I want to go overseas.
What do you think is more important, in your opinion? Passion or stability?
I really like this question when I saw it. I think passion. Because if you have passion, stability will show up eventually.
I agree.
Right? I think you always have slumps, but if you really enjoy what you're doing, I think it's fine.
If you have passion, then stability will come, in the sense that, if I really like this job, then eventually I'll make something of it. This is good advice for people who want to pursue more unorthodox careers. Not everyone has to go into medicine or law, or you could go into music, you could go into, arts, languages, whatever,
I would say I haven't done enough to really answer that question.
Right.
Passion and stability, because I haven't had to be, I don't really have to be stable.
Yeah.
I've never had to be. I've just had to have the passion.
That's true.
So far. So I wouldn't say much, but you know what?
That
For
might
now, that's
change.
what I think.
Right.
It might change. Who knows?
Okay, who knows? Any last words to high school students wanting to pursue music at university?
There's a difference between practice and good practice. If you're just practicing, but it's not like proper practice, and you're not really gonna learn that much. And also, one of the best advice that my music teacher told me in school was play with better people. Because I played with better people, I tried to play with better people. You can learn so much from what they do because they know what they're doing. When I was playing with better people, it was like my second year of playing bass, so I was still like lost. But you're playing with other people that know what they're doing, and if you really train yourself to listen to what they're playing, you can learn a lot faster. Because let's say you're in a jam session and there are these really good musicians playing, you can't just stop. The music doesn't stop. The show must go on, as people say. And if you can't keep up, then you're kind of done. So if you play with better people, and it's okay to fail. I think when I first started, I really couldn't. I didn't understand anything. Harmony was I didn't know what a dominant chord was. I was like, what is a subdominant? I didn't know any theory. But doing your research, learning, the internet is great. You can learn so much from it. And playing with more people, you'll learn their language, how they play, and you'll understand how to react to that. And then you'll put that into your own playing, or you know how to respond to what he's doing. If you can do that at a really early stage, I think you can really get that extra step of like listening to something and understanding what it means. I think if you play with better people, you can really learn a lot. Thanks, Mr. Johnny.
Okay, so you have a pretty unique cultural background. So
Home.
At home, yeah. So how has your experience been growing up in Macau with that sort of background?
Well, my father was born here, and I was born here. So I wouldn't say it's that much different from a regular local. Of course, there are different aspects, like going to international school and having different cultures at home. I'd say maybe the TV that I got into when I was a kid, or like the restaurants that I would go to, the pubs that I went to. Those all regular, normal Macau kid.
I mean, have you ever faced any discrimination?
Very rarely. Sometimes there might be one or two old person, but most of it is pretty okay.
I'd say you blend in quite well.
Yeah. And also, I grew up here, so I kind of just
Speak the language.
I'm pretty much a local.
You're
so
local, yeah.
I try to be. So.
Okay.
I don't think I've really faced much.
Right.
Plus, I think most people just find it cool.
Well, amongst all of the cultures you belong to, is it harder to fit into one, or is it kind of the same?
Sometimes you feel out of place a little bit, and when I go back to other countries as well, my family's countries, I'm not really a person from there. I never really felt like that was home. I mean, I would try, but it didn't really feel right. I think because of how unique my family background is. I think home is where the family is. So wherever I am, if I'm with them, I think that's where I feel. I think we're very close-knit family.
We're sort of at the end of all of our questions. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. I think you've really asked all the nitty-gritty things.
Awesome. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for tuning into the first ever episode of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. If you are interested in seeing more,
make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment on who you want to see next or what you want to ask, so long as they're not super invasive or anything like that. This is kind of a low budget thing, so yeah, I do appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much for joining us, Koji. We'll be seeing you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you for inviting me.
You're so welcome.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm gonna leave that in.
No.
Hey everyone, I hope you all enjoyed that little segment of Koji performing, and that just about concludes the first ever episode of A Little Bit of This, A Little Bit of That. For those of you who are looking to pursue music as either a career or a major in university, I hope this episode has helped ease some of your worries and answered most of your questions. After interviewing Koji and hearing all of his answers, the main sentiment I got from him was that balance is ultimately key and that opportunities are the most valuable things that a musician can have. So if you're really into music, I urge you to learn how to balance academics and your music life rather than fully investing time into one main area, just so that you have the resources to achieve all of these opportunities and that you are not limited by some of the decisions that you will end up regretting. But if you have the resources for it and you are really sure of what you want to do in the future, I encourage you to pursue your dreams and live your life to the fullest. Once again, thank you all so much for your support. I'll have a new episode out very soon with a really unexpected guest, so be sure to tune in and check out this upcoming episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be seeing everyone very soon. Thank you.